Lady Mage presents Holders 71 to 75. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls themselves the Holder of the Sky. The receptionist will ignore your existence completely and you'll collapse on the floor. You will wake up in a torrent of soundless rain. The silence will be unbearable, and there will be no environment. What you walk on is a solid air in a tempest. In the silence, a huge mass of people dressed in complete darkness will appear and begin approaching you. Do not fear. Take off your shirt and wrap it around your dominant hand and walk toward them. Do not speak. When you get close, hold your arm forward and simply fend aside anyone who is in your way. Should your skin come in contact with any of them, the silence will be broken and you will become visible to them. And that would mean the end, so be careful. Go through and you will see a man in scarlet. He will be the only one standing still, and the only one that can see you. He's also the only one in red, so it's kind of obvious. An empty circle will oddly form with you and the man in the middle. The rest continuously walking. Stand and wait. Once the man raises his hand, you must immediately break the silence. How many will perish when they are brought together? The man will stop and rhythmically face towards you, all of them eyeing your every move. Once they are all facing you, you must then ask, and how many will be there to fight back? They will laugh. All but the one in the red cloak will laugh. Their cackling will resonate through the space you stand on, but you mustn't give in. Resume asking, and how many will be there to fight back? The laughter will grow and they will begin to fade. Once all but one are no more, ask one last question to the Scarlet Man. Where will we be safe from them? The man will bow before you and fade. The only thing left will be his scarlet red cloak. The cloak is object 71 of 538. When worn, it brings you back to this space, the only place safe when they are brought together. That was Holder 71, the Holder of the Sky. Holder number 72, the Holder of Sanity, which nobody has if they're doing this quest. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of Sanity. Why are they in a mental institution, then? The receptionist will look at you strangely, but you must repeat the same question and nothing else. Eventually, she will call for a doctor, quote unquote, and you will be taken to the room in the furthest corner of the institution. Beware, for after this point there is no turning back, and if you wish to leave then, tell the doctor you are sorry and you must not have taken your medication today, and leave. Run as far away as you can, outside the city limits, outside the country limits, for cowards are not spared if caught. If you continue on, you will be put into a straitjacket and locked in a padded room. After a few days, that will seem like months, you will start to hear voices, hundreds of them, all talking about how their lives were ruined. Their stories may drive you mad, and you would have to stay there for all eternity, for in your padded room there is no death, only torture. If the voices stop talking, close your eyes tight and shout at the top of your lungs, "I will not share your stories." If the voices do not resume, pray the pain you will next feel will not be so bad. However, it is unlikely that it is. If the voices continue talking, Single out the voice that speaks of the very hospital you are in. Listen to his story and open your eyes. You will not be in the cell anymore, but still in a straitjacket. Instead, you will be in what seems like an endless void. The only thing separating you from the void is a glass box. A man will appear in front of you and ask if you have any questions. You'll respond to one and only one question. Ask what drove them to insanity. He will explain in horrifying detail about the lives and deaths of them. During his response, a large black dot will appear to be moving through the void. But don't focus your sight on it, for it will shatter the glass box, leaving you to fall into the void for all eternity. Once the man has finished the story, he will remove your straitjacket and bid you farewell. You will find yourself standing outside the institution, holding the straitjacket. The jacket is object 72 of 538. You can only pray you may never wear it again. Holder number 73. The Holder of Triumph! In any city, in any country, enter any library you find. Ask the librarian at the front desk to see the Holder of Triumph. She'll raise an eyebrow as if judging you, or impersonating the Rock, but nonetheless will take you deeper into the library. You will see a door in the southwest wing of the building that you could swear would lead you outside. The librarian will stop at the door and knock 3 times. A voice that sounds similar to 2 sheets of sandpaper rubbing together will ask, "Confident are thee that triumph awaits at the end?" You must answer, "Indeed, for I do not fail." Say this before the librarian answers that you are a failure. If she does answer you are a failure before you can open your mouth, your very soul will be crushed under the weight of your own failure, and she will feast upon your flesh while you weep for your loss. Somebody tell me which library this is. I don't want to ever go there. But if you answer in time, and confidently enough, the librarian will hiss and produce a dagger. Do not attack her, for her strength and speed are beyond legend. She will hand the blade off to you and open the door, whispering curses as you pass. This is not a nice lady. The path is well lit, with no end in sight. Mirrors line the path reflecting every victory, good and evil, since time began. Look into any of these mirrors is to fail in the scenario it reflects. The path stretches beyond time, and you must follow. After what seems like an eternity of walking, a large steel door will appear. A voice will beckon you closer. Keep your mind free of doubt. You must be sure of your triumph, lest you have your soul rent from you and tortured for all eternity again. Step up to the door and knock 7 times. If the voice brands you a failure, the horror you will see will force you to slice your own throat open with the dagger you've been given. If there is no answer, then enter. The room will be dark. The inky darkness will be almost tangible. Ask your question. What will happen when he triumphs? The room will light up, revealing a naked figure of great height and the physique of an Adonis. Every feature gleaming with perfection, save for the fact he has no face. He will rise and turn towards you. Ask again, what will happen when he triumphs? The figure will cock his head sharply to the right and immediately lunge at you. Do not flinch, or he will beat you to death and feed off of your sanity. Instead, charge, but I warn you to attack with berserk ferocity, or you will surely lose. You must not kill him, only incapacitate him. He will speak directly into your mind. Your perseverance serves. Do not thank him. Instead, yell, "Thrice I say and done! What will happen when he triumphs?" The figure will scream now, the sound threatening to implode your mind, and he will describe in gruesome detail the end of time when he arrives. Stab the figure in the throat and remove his head. His head will serve as your trophy. a symbol of your triumph. By the way, it's also object 73 of 538. He knows who you are. Bask in his triumph when the time comes. The holder of the mark, holder number 74. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of the mark. The receptionist will freeze, as though he has known this moment was coming for a long time, and is afraid it has finally arrived. He will stutter and tell you there is no such man here, but be insistent. He will eventually yield, and after looking around to see if anyone else is here, he will beckon you to follow him. He will lead you along corridors of increasingly smaller size, until eventually you're going to have to stoop. He will point you to a door at the end of the corridor, so small that you'll have to crawl to get to the end. It will be perfectly normal except for a large exclamation mark in the center and a smaller question mark on the doorknob. This is your last chance to turn away from this one, and if you have the slightest hint of doubt in you, I recommend you do so. But if your will is strong, open the door gently and pull yourself through. You will emerge in an ornate hall, covered with wall paintings depicting famous historical dictators and murderers, butchers, rapists, and serial killers. Do not linger on them, for the souls of the people reside in those pictures, and the twisted hate of their life has been amplified in their death. In other words, don't look at the picture of Hitler. They are waiting to reach out and rend you limb from limb, delighting in your slow and painful death. Finally, when you reach the end of the hall, there will be a small wooden box with an insignia on it that is old and faded. You will feel a sharp tingle go up your spine as you behold this item, and a voice behind you will say, "Beautiful, is it not?" You must reply, "As the full moon." If he is not satisfied with your response, pray he doesn't make you one of his paintings, and instead gives you a painless death. But if he is satisfied, he will say, "You ask?" You must say exactly, "How do we destroy them?" He will laugh and say he doesn't know. Well, at least he's honest. But then will simply state, "You're bound to think of something." You will then wake up in the nearest bathroom, your eye in excruciating pain. As the pain recedes, you will see that your pupil has taken on the shape of the mark on the box in the back of the room. That mark / newly reformed eyeball is object 74 of 538. It will allow you to behold the ultimate truth. Whether or not the experience will be worth it is another matter entirely. And now holder number 55, the holder of chance. In any city, in any country, seek out any school or educational facility you can find. When you reach the front desk, ask to see a person who calls themselves the holder of chance. If the secretary shows any signs of fear, give the request again and do not relent. Eventually your perseverance will pay off, and you will be led to a deserted classroom in a closed-down wing of the school. Scraps of police tape and faded chalk profiles will litter the floor, and the door will be sealed behind you before you require anything. At this point, you must choose one of 30 desks, sit down, and wait. Only one of those desks will allow you to keep your life. Advising you choose wisely will do little good, as there's really no way to tell if you've done so until it's too late. After a short wait, you should begin to hear things. Children laughing, droning lectures, and the occasional snore. Sounds like my high school. But these are merely echoes of a time when the classroom used to host nothing more than devious than homework and pop quizzes, and evil teachers. And bullies. What? The story understated it. Anyway, as you wait, the sounds will slowly change. Where there was once laughter and lectures, there will now be screams of agony and howls of despair. Shades of the classroom's horrible history will begin to shape around you. Do not fear the shades, as they are harmless. The beast they coalesce into, however, is not so harmless. As your wait continues, the shadows will grow more numerous, and the classroom's history will unfold in increasingly gruesome detail. This part has driven many men into fits of tears, and still more into madness. Should you reach the end of the macabre production with your sanity intact, you will find if you have chosen wisely. If you haven't chosen wisely and were unlucky, the shades will take form. They are hideous mockeries of what they were in life, half-formed doppelgangers of those long dead. There is no escape from this room now, and they will tear you apart ever so slowly, taking twisted delight in inflicting pain they have suffered on someone else. It'll take you days, perhaps even weeks, to die. The only consolation is that you will likely lose your sanity after the first few hours. But if you did pick the right desk out of sheer luck, the shades will gather around you, coalescing into a pitch-black mass. When it disappears, you will find yourself in the most lavish casino imaginable. It is populated by those who have played games for so long that their flesh has long since rotted away, for death is forbidden from entering this casino, and yet still play, hoping to gain their freedom. The casino has but two exits. One leads to a wasteland where fell beasts roam, and nothing but certain death awaits. The cost to pass through is 4 silver coins. The other door will take you to what you seek, but the only chance for you to leave with your life. It is the only chance to leave with your life. The cost to pass there is 5 gold coins. You will be holding a single silver coin in your hand. Don't fret. As long as you're in this casino, you will never have anything less than this 1 coin. A nearby sign will tell you that 3 silvers equal 1 gold. You must play if you do. If you do not wish to be trapped here for good. But remember that old casino boss's idiom, you can't beat the house. Like in Vegas, nearly every game is rigged in favor of the house, and the precious few who aren't change at random, serving only to trick and confuse you. The odds are not in your favor. If you do begin to win, take care to keep your fortune as secret as possible, as the damned around you have not been so lucky. Bear in mind that you cannot die in this place, and that boastfulness may inspire them to turn on you in a fit of jealous hatred, ripping great chunks of your flesh off from your body. Until the jealousy is quenched and their bloodlust is sated,